What if the secret to a fulfilling life wasn't about chasing more but embracing less? Imagine a life where stress, overthinking, and endless distractions don't control you, where simplicity is your superpower. That's exactly what Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, teaches us. It's not just about ancient texts or abstract ideas. It's about practical, everyday rules that can help you simplify your life, focus on what truly matters, and find peace in the midst of chaos. In this video, we're diving into 30 Stoic rules, each one a step toward living a simpler, more meaningful life. From letting go of what you can't control to mastering the art of gratitude, these rules aren't just philosophy, they're tools you can start using today. So, if you're ready to declutter your mind, simplify your choices, and live with intention, keep watching. Now turning to our first Stoic rule, focus on what you can control. At the heart of Stoicism is the idea that many of life's challenges come from expending energy on things outside our influence. Instead, the Stoics teach us to direct our attention to what we can manage, our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. By doing this, we not only reduce unnecessary stress but also make decision-making simpler and more intentional. Think about it. When you're stuck in traffic, getting frustrated won't change the situation. But focusing on how you respond, whether you choose to stay calm or use the time to listen to a podcast, puts you back in control. The same applies to workplace conflicts. You can't control how others act, but you can control how you react, whether it's by staying professional or seeking constructive solutions. This shift in focus doesn't just simplify life, it empowers you to handle challenges with clarity and purpose. Now turning to our second Stoic rule, let go of what you can't control. Building on the previous principle, this rule takes it a step further by emphasizing the importance of releasing our grip on external events. Stoicism teaches us that so much of what happens in life, whether it's the weather, other people's actions, or even global events, is entirely beyond our influence. Fighting against these realities only leads to frustration and wasted energy. Instead, the Stoics encourage us to accept them as they are without resistance. For example, if someone criticizes you, their opinion is out of your control, but how you choose to respond or whether you even let it affect you is entirely up to you. Similarly, natural disasters or unforeseen challenges are part of life's unpredictability. Accepting this frees up mental space, allowing you to focus on what truly matters, your own thoughts, actions, and choices. This mindset doesn't mean you stop caring. Rather, it helps you channel your energy into areas where you can make a difference. By letting go of what you can't control, you cultivate a sense of peace and resilience, making life simpler and more manageable. Shifting our focus to the third Stoic rule, let's explore the transformative power of gratitude. Stoicism teaches us that practicing gratitude daily is a simple yet profound way to shift our mindset from focusing on what we lack to appreciating what we already have. This shift doesn't just make life feel richer, it also aligns with the Stoic belief that true happiness comes from within, not from external circumstances. One of the most effective ways to cultivate gratitude is through journaling. Each morning or evening, take a moment to write down 3 things you're grateful for. These don't have to be grand or life-changing. They can be as simple as a kind word from a friend, a warm cup of tea, or the beauty of a sunrise. By consistently acknowledging these small joys, you train your mind to notice and appreciate the abundance that surrounds you. Another practical method is incorporating gratitude into your morning routine. As you start your day, take a few deep breaths and mentally list what you're thankful for. This practice sets a positive tone for the day ahead, helping you approach challenges with a calmer, more resilient mindset. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus often reminded themselves of the good in their lives, even in tough times. They understood that gratitude isn't about ignoring difficulties, but about finding balance. By focusing on what's going well, we build emotional strength and a deeper sense of contentment. Ultimately, gratitude is a tool for simplicity. It shifts our attention from endless desires to the present moment, reducing the mental clutter of want and worry. As you make gratitude a daily habit, you'll find that life becomes not only simpler but also more fulfilling. Now turning to the fourth Stoic rule, let's delve into the concept of minimalism and how it aligns with the principles of Stoicism. At its core, Stoicism teaches us that true freedom comes from living with less, not just in terms of physical possessions, but also by freeing our minds from unnecessary distractions. This idea is about simplifying life so that we can focus on what truly matters, our values, relationships, and inner peace. One of the most influential Stoic philosophers, Seneca, was a strong advocate for simplicity. He believed that excess possessions and desires only serve to burden us, pulling our attention away from what's essential. In his letters, Seneca often reminded his readers that wealth and material goods are indifferent. They don't contribute to true happiness. Instead, he encouraged living a life free from the weight of clutter, both physical and mental. Decluttering your physical space is one of the most tangible ways to embrace minimalism. Start by examining your possessions and asking yourself, does this add value to my life? If the answer is no, let it go. This process isn't just about creating a tidier home, it's about creating room for clarity and focus. When your surroundings are free from excess, your mind feels lighter and decision-making becomes easier. But minimalism doesn't stop at physical possessions. It also applies to mental clutter. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with information, notifications, and distractions. Stoicism encourages us to filter out the noise and focus on what's within our control. This might mean setting boundaries with technology, saying no to unnecessary commitments, or simply taking time each day to quiet your mind through meditation or reflection. The benefits of embracing minimalism are profound. It reduces stress, increases focus, and helps us appreciate the things we truly value. By living with less, we create space for more meaningful experiences and relationships. It's a practice that aligns perfectly with the Stoic goal of living a simple, intentional life. As Seneca once wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Minimalism isn't about deprivation, it's about finding freedom in letting go. When we simplify our lives, we discover that we already have enough, and that's where true contentment lies. As we shift our focus to the next Stoic rule, let's explore the profound importance of living in the present moment. Stoicism teaches us that much of our stress and frustration stems from worrying about the past or anxiously anticipating the future. These tendencies pull us away from the here and now, complicating our lives and draining our energy. The Stoics believed that the present moment is all we truly have, and by anchoring ourselves in it, we can find clarity and peace. Think about it. How often do we dwell on past mistakes or obsess over future uncertainties? These habits not only distract us, but also prevent us from fully engaging with what's happening right now. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the fleeting nature of time, reminding himself that the past is gone, the future is uncertain, and the present is where we must focus our attention. To live in the present moment, Stoicism encourages practices like mindfulness. This doesn't require elaborate techniques or hours of meditation. It can be as simple as pausing throughout the day to notice your breath, the sensations in your body, or the sights and sounds around you. By grounding yourself in these small moments, you can break free from the cycle of overthinking and bring your mind back to the present. Another Stoic exercise is to remind yourself of the impermanence of life. When you recognize that every moment is temporary, you're more likely to appreciate it fully. Ask yourself, what can I do right now to make the most of this moment? Whether it's savoring a cup of coffee, having a meaningful conversation, or simply enjoying a walk, these actions help you reconnect with the present. Living in the moment also means accepting what is happening without resistance. The Stoics taught that fighting against reality only creates unnecessary suffering. Instead, by embracing the present as it is, you can respond to challenges with calmness and clarity. The benefits of this practice are immediate. When you focus on the present, you reduce anxiety, improve decision-making, and cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude. It's a simple yet powerful way to simplify your life and align with the Stoic ideal of living with intention. As the Stoics remind us, the present is the only time we have any control over. By making it a habit to live fully in the now, you can shed the weight of regret and worry and embrace a life of simplicity and peace. Now turning to the next Stoic rule, we delve into the profound concept of accepting impermanence. Change is an inevitable part of life, and the Stoics understood this deeply. They taught that everything in the world, from material possessions to relationships, is temporary. By embracing this truth, we can reduce our attachment to things that come and go, freeing ourselves from the anxiety of holding on too tightly. Think about it. How often do we cling to possessions, status, or even people, fearing the loss of them? This attachment creates unnecessary stress and disappointment when things inevitably change. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us that it's not the loss itself that causes suffering, but our resistance to it. When we accept impermanence, we learn to appreciate what we have while it lasts without being devastated when it's gone. This mindset also builds resilience. When you understand that life is full of ups and downs, you become better equipped to handle challenges. Losses, whether big or small, become part of the natural flow of life rather than catastrophic events. For example, losing a job or experiencing a breakup can feel less overwhelming when you recognize that these are just temporary chapters in a larger story. Practicing acceptance of impermanence doesn't mean becoming indifferent or detached. Instead, it's about shifting your perspective. You can still enjoy and value the people and things in your life, but with an understanding that they won't last forever. This balance allows you to live more fully in the present, cherishing each moment without the fear of losing it. One practical way to cultivate this Stoic principle is through reflection. Take a moment each day to remind yourself that nothing is permanent. Your possessions, your circumstances, even your emotions. This simple practice can help you develop a healthier relationship with change and build the resilience needed to navigate life's uncertainties. By accepting impermanence, you not only simplify your life but also grow stronger in the face of adversity. It's a powerful reminder to focus on what truly matters: your character, your values, and the way you respond to life's inevitable changes. Now shifting our focus, let's explore the seventh Stoic rule, cultivating inner peace. The Stoics believed that true peace doesn't come from what's happening around us, but from how we choose to respond to it. External circumstances, whether positive or negative, are often beyond our control. What we can control, however, is our inner world, our thoughts, emotions, and reactions. Think about it. How often do we let our happiness depend on things like a promotion, a compliment, or even the weather? When we tie our peace to these external factors, we set ourselves up for constant ups and downs. The Stoics teach us that by shifting our focus inward, we can find a steadiness that isn't shaken by life's unpredictability. One powerful Stoic exercise for cultivating inner peace is negative visualization. This practice involves imagining the worst-case scenarios in your life: losing your job, facing a health challenge, or experiencing a breakup. At first, this might sound counterintuitive. Why would anyone want to think about these things? The answer lies in preparation. By mentally rehearsing these possibilities, you reduce their emotional impact if they ever happen. You also gain a deeper appreciation for what you have right now, knowing that it's not guaranteed to last. Another way to nurture inner peace is through daily reflection. Taking a few moments each day to sit quietly and observe your thoughts can help you detach from external chaos. You might ask yourself, what's within my control today and what's not? This simple question can bring clarity and calm, reminding you to focus your energy where it truly matters. It's also helpful to practice gratitude alongside these exercises. When you actively acknowledge the good in your life, even during tough times, you create a sense of balance that counteracts stress and anxiety. Gratitude shifts your mindset from lack to abundance, making it easier to maintain inner peace even when external challenges arise. Cultivating inner peace isn't about avoiding difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It's about building a strong, resilient core that allows you to face life's storms with calm and clarity. By practicing Stoic techniques like negative visualization, daily reflection, and gratitude, you can create a sense of stability that comes from within no matter what's happening around you. Now turning to the next Stoic rule, let's talk about the importance of avoiding overthinking. The Stoics understood that excessive analysis often leads to indecision, stress, and ultimately inaction. While it's natural to want to weigh every option and consider every outcome, overthinking can trap us in a cycle of doubt and hesitation. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to focus on what's essential and make decisions with clarity and confidence. One of the key Stoic techniques for avoiding overthinking is to distinguish between what's within our control and what isn't. When you're faced with a decision, ask yourself, is this something I can influence or is it outside my power? If it's beyond your control, let it go. If it's within your control, take action without overcomplicating it. This simple mindset shift can save you countless hours of unnecessary worry. Another practical tip is to set boundaries for decision-making. Give yourself a specific amount of time to consider your options, and once that time is up, commit to a choice. For example, if you're deciding whether to accept a new job offer, allow yourself 2 days to weigh the pros and cons. After that, trust your judgment and move forward. This approach prevents endless deliberation and helps you avoid the paralysis that comes with overthinking. It's also helpful to focus on your core values when making decisions. The Stoics believed that living in alignment with virtues like wisdom, courage, and justice provides a clear framework for action. When you know what truly matters to you, decisions become simpler because you're guided by principles rather than external pressures or fleeting emotions. Lastly, remember that perfection is not the goal. Stoicism teaches us to accept imperfection and embrace the idea that some uncertainty is part of life. By letting go of the need to have everything figured out, you free yourself from the burden of overthinking and open the door to meaningful progress. Avoiding overthinking doesn't mean acting impulsively or without thought. It's about finding a balance between careful consideration and decisive action. By applying Stoic principles like focusing on what you can control, setting decision-making boundaries, and aligning with your values, you can make choices more efficiently and live with greater peace of mind. Now shifting focus, let's explore the Stoic principle of valuing time over possessions. The Stoics believed that time is the most precious resource we have, far more valuable than any material possession. While wealth and belongings can be lost or replaced, time once spent is gone forever. This philosophy urges us to reflect on how we use our time and to prioritize what truly matters. Think about it, we often spend hours, days, or even years chasing after things: bigger houses, faster cars, the latest gadgets, only to find that these things don't bring lasting happiness. Stoicism teaches us that fulfillment doesn't come from what we own but from how we live our lives. It's about investing our time in meaningful activities, nurturing relationships, and pursuing personal growth. To put this into practice, start by evaluating how you spend your days. Are you dedicating time to activities that align with your values and bring you joy, or are you caught up in the endless pursuit of more stuff? The Stoics would encourage you to focus on experiences over possessions, spend time with loved ones, learn new skills, or contribute to your community. These are the things that truly enrich your life. Another Stoic exercise is to remind yourself of life's impermanence. As the philosopher Seneca wrote, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. By keeping this in mind, you're more likely to use your time wisely and avoid getting caught in the trap of materialism. Instead of accumulating things, invest in moments that create lasting memories and contribute to your sense of purpose. Finally, consider simplifying your life by decluttering not just your physical space but also your schedule. Remove activities that drain your time without adding value and make room for what truly matters. When you prioritize time over possessions, you'll find that life becomes less cluttered and more fulfilling. Time is a gift. Use it in ways that honor your values and bring you closer to the person you aspire to be. Now turning to the cornerstone of Stoic living, self-discipline emerges as a vital practice in simplifying life. The Stoics understood that true freedom comes from mastering ourselves, not from indulging every desire or impulse. Self-discipline isn't about deprivation, but about aligning our actions with our values, creating a life of purpose and clarity. Start by mastering your mornings. Waking early sets the tone for the day, giving you a quiet space to focus before the world demands your attention. It's not just about the time you rise, but how you use those moments, whether for reflection, planning, or simply savoring the stillness. This small act of discipline can ripple into every area of your life, helping you feel more in control and intentional. Mindful eating is another powerful practice. The Stoics believed in moderation, not just in food, but in all areas of life. By paying attention to what and how you eat, you cultivate gratitude for nourishment and avoid the trap of overindulgence. It's not about strict diets, but about being present with your meals, appreciating each bite, and making choices that honor your body and mind. Distractions are perhaps the greatest challenge to self-discipline in our modern world. Social media, endless notifications, and the constant pull of multitasking can fragment our focus and drain our energy. Stoicism teaches us to guard our attention fiercely. Set boundaries around your screen time, create focused work sessions, and prioritize tasks that align with your goals. Every time you resist a distraction, you strengthen your willpower and move closer to the simplicity you seek. Finally, remember that self-discipline is a practice, not a destination. There will be days when you falter, and that's okay. The Stoics remind us that progress, not perfection, is the goal. Each small act of self-control, whether it's resisting an unnecessary purchase or choosing to focus on a task, builds your resilience and deepens your commitment to living a simpler, more intentional life. Take it one step at a time, and soon, self-discipline will become your greatest ally in creating the life you desire. Now shifting our focus to a deeper Stoic principle, the pursuit of wisdom over pleasure stands as a guiding light for a simpler, more meaningful life. The Stoics understood that while pleasure can bring momentary joy, it often leaves us wanting more, trapping us in a cycle of seeking and dissatisfaction. In contrast, wisdom offers lasting fulfillment, grounding us in clarity and purpose. When we prioritize wisdom, we align ourselves with what truly matters: understanding, growth, and inner peace. Think of it this way: chasing pleasure is like drinking salt water to quench thirst. The more you indulge, the more you crave, and the less satisfied you feel. Whether it's the latest gadget, a fleeting distraction, or an extravagant experience, these pleasures are temporary by nature. Wisdom, on the other hand, is like a well of fresh water. It sustains you, nourishes you, and helps you navigate life's challenges with resilience and insight. The Stoics teach us to seek what endures rather than what fades. This doesn't mean rejecting all forms of enjoyment, but rather approaching them with mindfulness. Instead of seeking pleasure for its own sake, ask yourself if it aligns with your values and contributes to your growth. For example, reading a thought-provoking book or engaging in a meaningful conversation may not be as immediately gratifying as scrolling through social media, but it enriches your mind and spirit in ways that last far longer. By choosing wisdom over fleeting pleasures, we simplify our lives. We reduce the noise of constant desires and focus on what truly adds value. This shift allows us to live with intention, making choices that reflect our deeper purpose rather than momentary whims. The Stoics remind us that true fulfillment comes not from external rewards but from cultivating an inner life of understanding and virtue. As you reflect on this principle, consider how you can incorporate it into your daily routine. Perhaps it's setting aside time for learning, engaging in thoughtful discussions, or simply pausing to evaluate whether your actions are driven by wisdom or mere pleasure. Each small step toward wisdom brings you closer to a life of simplicity, clarity, and long-term contentment. Taking a step back to reflect, let's explore how simplifying your goals can transform your approach to life. The Stoics believed that setting too many objectives can scatter your energy and leave you feeling overwhelmed. Instead, they encouraged focusing on fewer, more meaningful goals that align with your core values. This approach not only sharpens your focus but also brings clarity to your actions, helping you move forward with purpose. Imagine your goals as a handful of arrows in a quiver. If you aim all of them at once, none will hit the target. But if you carefully select one or two and direct your full attention toward them, your chances of success increase dramatically. The same principle applies to life. When you narrow your focus to what truly matters, whether it's improving your relationships, advancing your career, or nurturing your well-being, you create a clear path forward free from distractions. Simplifying your goals also allows you to go deeper rather than wider. Instead of spreading yourself thin trying to achieve everything, you can invest your time and energy into mastering what's truly important. This doesn't mean abandoning all aspirations, but rather prioritizing the ones that resonate most with your values and contribute to your long-term fulfillment. For example, rather than juggling multiple hobbies, you might choose to dedicate yourself to mastering one that brings you joy and aligns with your passions. Another benefit of this approach is the reduction of mental clutter. When you have fewer goals, you're less likely to feel overwhelmed by the pressure to accomplish everything. This mental clarity fosters a sense of calm and control, allowing you to approach each day with intention and confidence. The Stoics remind us that a simple life isn't about doing less, but about doing what matters most. As you consider how to simplify your goals, take a moment to evaluate what truly resonates with you. Ask yourself which aspirations align with your values and which ones might be distractions. By focusing on what's meaningful, you'll not only reduce overwhelm but also create a life that feels purposeful and aligned with who you are. This Stoic principle invites you to let go of the unnecessary and embrace the essential, one meaningful goal at a time. Moving forward, let's address the modern challenge of social media and its impact on our lives. While it connects us to the world, excessive use can quickly complicate our thoughts and drain our energy. The Stoics emphasized the importance of focusing on what truly matters, and in today's digital age, this means being mindful of how we engage with social media. Constant scrolling, comparing, and consuming endless content can leave us feeling distracted, anxious, and disconnected from the present moment. When we're consumed by the virtual world, we often lose sight of what's real and meaningful in our lives. The Stoic approach invites us to step back and ask whether our time on social media aligns with our values or simply serves as a distraction. To reduce screen time, consider setting clear boundaries. Start by designating specific times of the day for checking social media, rather than letting it interrupt your focus throughout the day. You might also try removing apps from your phone or using tools that limit your access after a certain period. These small adjustments can help you reclaim your time and attention. Another Stoic-inspired tip is to practice intentionality. Before opening a social media app, ask yourself why you're doing so. Is it out of habit, boredom, or a genuine desire to connect? By being aware of your motivations, you can make more conscious choices about how you spend your time. Finally, reconnect with the real world by engaging in activities that ground you. Spend time in nature, have face-to-face conversations, or pursue hobbies that bring you joy. These experiences not only enrich your life but also remind you of the beauty and simplicity of the present moment. Limiting social media use isn't about cutting it out entirely, but about using it in a way that serves your well-being. By applying these Stoic principles, you can simplify your digital life and create more space for what truly matters. Now, turning to a principle that challenges the endless chase for more, let's explore the Stoic concept of enough. In a world that constantly tells us we need the latest gadget, a bigger house, or a fancier car, Stoicism reminds us that true contentment comes from recognizing we already have. This idea of enough is a powerful antidote to the societal pressure to accumulate endlessly. The Stoics believed that the pursuit of more often leads to dissatisfaction rather than fulfillment. When we're always reaching for the next thing, we're never fully present or grateful for what we've already achieved. This mindset keeps us trapped in a cycle of wanting, rather than enjoying the simplicity of having enough. One practical way to apply this principle is through budgeting. By setting clear financial boundaries, we can avoid overspending and focus on what truly matters. For example, instead of upgrading to a luxury car that stretches your budget, consider whether a reliable, affordable vehicle meets your needs just as well. This shift in perspective not only saves money but also reduces the stress of keeping up with unrealistic standards. Another way to embrace the idea of enough is to avoid lifestyle inflation. As our income grows, it's tempting to increase our expenses proportionally: bigger homes, pricier vacations, or more expensive hobbies. But Stoicism encourages us to resist this urge. Instead, we can choose to live within our means and invest in experiences or savings that bring long-term stability and peace. Being content with enough doesn't mean settling for mediocrity. It means finding fulfillment in what we have and focusing on what truly enriches our lives, whether that's relationships, personal growth, or meaningful experiences. By adopting this Stoic mindset, we can break free from the endless cycle of wanting and find lasting satisfaction in the simplicity of enough. As we move forward, this principle sets the stage for exploring how intentional discomfort can further strengthen our resilience and appreciation for life. Stepping into the next phase of our exploration, let's uncover how the Stoics turned discomfort into a tool for growth. Practicing voluntary discomfort is a unique Stoic exercise designed to build resilience and deepen our appreciation for life's conveniences. At first glance, it might seem counterintuitive to willingly embrace discomfort, but the Stoics believed this practice could strengthen our character and prepare us for life's inevitable challenges. One way to incorporate this principle is through fasting. By occasionally skipping a meal, we not only train our bodies to endure hunger, but also gain a heightened appreciation for the food we often take for granted. It's a reminder of how fortunate we are to have regular access to nourishment, something many people around the world don't enjoy. Another effective method is taking cold showers. While it's tempting to stick to warm, comfortable water, exposing yourself to cold water can build mental resilience. It teaches you to stay calm and focused in uncomfortable situations, a skill that translates to handling stress or adversity in daily life. Voluntary discomfort isn't about suffering for the sake of suffering. It's about intentionally stepping outside your comfort zone to cultivate gratitude and inner strength. For example, sleeping on the floor occasionally can make you appreciate the comfort of your bed, while walking instead of driving can help you value the convenience of modern transportation. The Stoics believed that by embracing small, manageable challenges, we become better equipped to handle larger ones. This practice shifts our perspective, helping us see discomfort not as something to avoid but as an opportunity for growth. It reminds us that life's conveniences are privileges, not entitlements, and fosters a deeper sense of gratitude. As we continue, this principle naturally leads us to the next Stoic rule, which explores how avoiding comparison with others can further simplify and enrich our lives. Now shifting our focus, let's explore how stepping away from comparisons can simplify our lives and bring us closer to inner peace. The Stoics warned against measuring ourselves against others, as it often leads to dissatisfaction and a sense of inadequacy. When we constantly compare our achievements, possessions, or appearances to those of others, we lose sight of our own progress and unique path. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to focus on our own journey and cultivate self-acceptance. By recognizing that everyone's circumstances and abilities are different, we can free ourselves from the pressure to compete or conform. For example, rather than envying a colleague's promotion, we can focus on our own growth and celebrate the steps we're taking toward our goals. Avoiding comparison also helps us appreciate what we already have. When we stop looking at others as benchmarks, we're more likely to feel gratitude for our own blessings, whether it's our health, relationships, or personal achievements. This shift in perspective reduces unnecessary stress and allows us to live more authentically. The Stoics believed that true contentment comes from within, not from external validation or outdoing others. By embracing this mindset, we can simplify our lives and focus on what truly matters: our own values, goals, and well-being. This practice not only fosters self-acceptance but also creates a sense of calm and clarity. As we move forward, this principle naturally leads us to the next Stoic rule, which emphasizes the importance of focusing on virtue as the foundation of a meaningful life. With this in mind, let's explore the next Stoic principle that shifts our attention inward to the core of what truly defines a meaningful life. The Stoics believed that virtue qualities like wisdom, courage, and justice are the foundation of a fulfilled and simple existence. Unlike external achievements, which are often fleeting and dependent on circumstances, virtue is entirely within our control and leads to lasting fulfillment. Living virtuously means aligning our actions with moral principles regardless of the outcomes. For example, choosing honesty in a difficult conversation, even when it's uncomfortable, reflects integrity, a key Stoic virtue. This focus on what is morally right rather than what is externally rewarded simplifies decision-making. It removes the constant need to seek approval or validation from others, freeing us from unnecessary complexity. The Stoics also emphasize that virtue is its own reward. When we act with wisdom, we grow in understanding. When we practice courage, we strengthen our resilience. And when we pursue justice, we contribute to the well-being of others. These internal rewards create a sense of purpose and clarity, reducing the distractions of chasing status or material success. By prioritizing virtue, we also gain a clear moral compass. Instead of being swayed by societal pressures or external expectations, we have a steady guide for our choices. This makes life simpler, as we no longer need to constantly evaluate what others think or try to fit into arbitrary standards. We can live authentically, grounded in our own values. In essence, focusing on virtue allows us to lead a life of intention and integrity. It simplifies our priorities, reduces internal conflict, and brings us closer to the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with our true selves. As we continue, this foundational principle will pave the way for exploring how setting boundaries and saying no can further streamline our lives. Now turning to the importance of setting boundaries, let's explore how learning to say no can simplify your life in profound ways. The Stoics understood that our time and energy are finite resources, and saying yes to everything often leads to overwhelm and distraction. By saying no to commitments that don't align with your values, you create space for what truly matters. Stoicism teaches us to prioritize actions that align with our moral principles and long-term goals. When faced with a request or opportunity, ask yourself, does this serve my purpose? Does it reflect my values? If the answer is no, it's not only okay to decline, it's necessary. This practice isn't about being selfish, it's about being intentional with your time and energy. For instance, imagine being asked to take on an extra project at work when your plate is already full. Saying yes might earn you short-term approval, but it could lead to burnout or compromise the quality of your existing commitments. On the other hand, saying no allows you to focus on what's already important and maintain your well-being. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us that we have control over our choices, even if we can't control the reactions of others. Saying no might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to pleasing people, but it's a powerful act of self-respect. It reinforces your boundaries and protects your inner peace. By practicing this principle, you'll find that your life becomes less cluttered and more focused. You'll have more time for the activities and relationships that nourish your soul, and less stress from obligations that drain you. Learning to say no is not just about simplifying your schedule, it's about aligning your life with your deepest values. As we move forward, this Stoic practice of setting boundaries will naturally lead us to the next rule, which emphasizes the importance of daily reflection to further streamline your life and stay grounded in your purpose. Turning our attention to the power of introspection, the 19th Stoic rule invites us to embrace the practice of daily reflection. The Stoics believed that taking time to review our day is essential for growth and clarity. By pausing to reflect, we can assess our actions, learn from our mistakes, and celebrate our progress. A simple way to incorporate this into your routine is through journaling. At the end of each day, take a few moments to answer questions like, what went well today? Where did I fall short? What lessons can I take from today's experiences? These prompts help you identify patterns in your behavior and align your actions with your values. Another effective method is the Stoic exercise of the evening review. As you prepare for bed, mentally walk through your day, examining how you responded to challenges and opportunities. Ask yourself, did I act with wisdom, courage, and justice? Did I stay true to my principles? This practice not only fosters self-awareness, but also helps you approach tomorrow with greater intention. Reflection doesn't have to be time-consuming or complicated. Even 5 minutes of quiet contemplation can make a significant difference. The goal is to create a habit of looking inward, allowing you to learn from each day and move forward with purpose. As we continue, this practice of daily reflection naturally leads us to the next rule, which focuses on simplifying relationships to further enhance our sense of peace and fulfillment. Now, as we shift our focus to the realm of human connections, the 20th Stoic rule guides us to simplify our relationships. Stoicism teaches us that not all relationships serve our well-being, and it's essential to nurture those that bring value while letting go of those that drain us. This doesn't mean cutting people off impulsively, but rather evaluating which connections align with your values and contribute positively to your life. Start by setting clear boundaries. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, but about protecting your energy and mental peace. Politely but firmly communicate your limits, whether it's saying no to unnecessary commitments or stepping back from conversations that feel toxic. Remember, you can't control how others behave, but you can control how you respond and what you allow into your life. Next, focus on fostering authentic connections. Authentic relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and shared values. Invest time in people who inspire you, challenge you to grow, and support you during tough times. These are the relationships that enrich your life and align with the Stoic pursuit of virtue and inner peace. At the same time, be willing to let go of relationships that no longer serve you. This could mean distancing yourself from those who constantly gossip, manipulate, or bring negativity into your life. Letting go can be difficult, but it's often necessary for your own growth and well-being. Finally, remember that simplifying relationships is an ongoing process. As you grow and evolve, so too will your connections. Regularly reflect on your relationships and ask yourself, do they align with my values? Do they bring me peace and fulfillment? By approaching relationships with intention and clarity, you create a simpler, more meaningful social life. This practice of nurturing meaningful connections while releasing toxic ones naturally leads us to the next rule, which emphasizes the importance of thoughtful communication in maintaining simplicity and harmony. Now, as we step into the realm of our words, the 21st Stoic rule reminds us to avoid gossip. Gossip, while it might seem harmless or even entertaining, often complicates life and creates unnecessary drama. It distracts us from what truly matters and can erode trust in our relationships. The Stoics believed that our words have power, and they encouraged speaking only what is true and necessary. Gossip at its core is about passing judgment on others, often without all the facts. It focuses on the flaws and mistakes of people, which not only distracts us from our own growth but also fosters negativity. When we engage in gossip, we waste valuable time and energy on matters that are often beyond our control. Instead of building connections, gossip tends to breed suspicion and division. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This simple yet profound idea encourages us to think before we speak and to prioritize listening over spreading rumors. By avoiding gossip, we cultivate a sense of discipline and respect in our interactions. So, how can we put this into practice? Start by being mindful of your conversations. Before speaking, ask yourself, is what I'm about to say true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If the answer to any of these questions is no, it's better to remain silent. Focus on sharing ideas or experiences that uplift and inspire rather than those that tear others down. Additionally, when you find yourself in a situation where gossip arises, gently steer the conversation in a more positive direction. Redirect the focus to something constructive or simply choose not to participate. By doing so, you not only protect your own peace but also set an example for others to follow. Avoiding gossip aligns with the Stoic pursuit of virtue and inner peace. It simplifies our lives by reducing unnecessary conflicts and allowing us to focus on what truly matters. As we move forward, let's carry this practice of mindful communication into the next rule, which explores the profound impact of letting go of resentment. Now shifting our focus to the next Stoic rule, we explore the transformative practice of letting go of resentment. Resentment, often described as holding on to anger or bitterness, can weigh heavily on the mind, creating unnecessary emotional baggage. The Stoics understood that clinging to past grievances not only distracts us from the present, but also hinders our ability to live a peaceful and fulfilling life. The Stoic approach to forgiveness is rooted in the idea that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control our response to them. By choosing to release resentment, we free ourselves from the emotional burden it carries. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This means responding to harm not with anger but with calmness and virtue. So, how can we practically apply this Stoic wisdom? Begin by acknowledging your feelings without letting them define you. Recognize that resentment often stems from unmet expectations or perceived injustices, but dwelling on these only perpetuates suffering. Instead, focus on what you can control: your thoughts, actions, and attitude. One effective technique is to practice empathy. Try to understand the perspective of the person who wronged you. This doesn't mean excusing their behavior, but it can help you see the situation in a broader context. Often, people act out of their own pain or ignorance, and understanding this can make it easier to let go. Another powerful tool is journaling. Write down your feelings honestly, then reflect on whether holding onto them serves any purpose. Ask yourself, does this resentment bring me closer to the person I want to be? If the answer is no, consciously choose to release it. Lastly, focus on the present moment. The past cannot be changed and the future is uncertain. By anchoring yourself in the here and now, you can prevent old wounds from reopening and allow yourself to move forward with clarity and peace. Letting go of resentment is not about forgetting or condoning hurtful actions, but about reclaiming your inner peace. It aligns with the Stoic pursuit of virtue and simplicity, allowing you to live more fully and authentically. As we prepare to delve into the next rule, which emphasizes the importance of simplifying your schedule, remember that forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, one that lightens the load and paves the way for a more harmonious life. Now turning to the next rule, we delve into the importance of simplifying your schedule. In a world that constantly demands our time and attention, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by endless to-do lists and commitments. The Stoics believed that a cluttered schedule is a cluttered mind, and by focusing on what truly matters, we can reclaim our time and energy. The Stoic approach to time management starts with recognizing that our time is finite and precious. As Seneca famously said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." This means being intentional about how we spend our days, prioritizing activities that align with our values and contribute to our well-being. To simplify your schedule, begin by identifying your essential tasks. These are the activities that truly matter, whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or working on a meaningful project. Everything else is secondary and, in many cases, can be eliminated or delegated. The Stoics encouraged us to ask ourselves, does this task bring me closer to the person I want to be? If the answer is no, it's likely not worth your time. Another key principle is avoiding overcommitment. It's tempting to say yes to every request or opportunity, but doing so often leads to stress and burnout. Instead, practice the Stoic art of saying no. Set clear boundaries and protect your time as you would your most valuable possession. Remember, every yes to something trivial is a no to something meaningful. Stoicism also teaches us to embrace simplicity in our daily routines. By reducing unnecessary busy work, we create space for reflection, creativity, and rest. This doesn't mean being idle, but rather focusing on quality over quantity. A simplified schedule allows us to be more present and engaged in each moment, rather than rushing from one task to the next. Lastly, remember that time is a resource we can never get back. Use it wisely and don't let external pressures dictate how you spend it. By simplifying your schedule, you align your actions with your values, reduce stress, and create a life that feels both purposeful and manageable. As we prepare to explore the next rule, which focuses on the Stoic practice of detachment, take a moment to reflect on your own schedule. Are there tasks or commitments you can let go of to create more space for what truly matters? Simplifying your schedule is not just about doing less, it's about living more. Now shifting our focus, let's explore the Stoic practice of detachment, a principle that encourages us to let go of our fixation on outcomes. In a world where success is often measured by results, Stoicism offers a refreshing perspective. It's not about what happens, but how we engage with the process. Detachment doesn't mean indifference or apathy. Instead, it's about freeing ourselves from the emotional roller coaster of highs and lows that come with external results we can't fully control. The Stoics believed that attaching too much importance to outcomes creates unnecessary anxiety. For example, worrying about whether you'll get a promotion, win a competition, or receive praise can distract you from the effort and focus required to perform well. By practicing detachment, you shift your attention to what you can control, your actions, your attitude, and your commitment to doing your best. This mindset not only reduces stress, but also allows you to approach challenges with a sense of calm and clarity. Think of it like planting a tree. You can control how often you water it, the quality of the soil, and the care you give it, but you can't control the weather or guarantee it will grow perfectly. The Stoic approach is to focus on nurturing the tree, knowing that the outcome, whether it thrives or not, is ultimately beyond your control. This mindset helps you appreciate the process itself, rather than being consumed by the end result. Detachment also fosters resilience. When you're not overly attached to a specific outcome, setbacks become easier to handle. If things don't go as planned, you can reflect on what you've learned and move forward without being weighed down by disappointment. This doesn't mean you stop caring about your goals. It simply means you prioritize the journey over the destination. To practice detachment in your own life, start by identifying areas where you feel overly invested in outcomes. It could be in your career, relationships, or personal projects. Then remind yourself that while you can influence these areas, you can't control every aspect. Focus on the effort you put in and the values you uphold, knowing that these are the true measures of your character. As we transition to the next rule, which emphasizes the importance of mindful speech, take a moment to consider how practicing detachment might change your approach to challenges. By letting go of the need for specific outcomes, you free yourself to embrace the present moment and find fulfillment in the process itself. Now shifting our focus, let's delve into the Stoic principle of mindful speech, a practice that emphasizes the power of words and the importance of using them wisely. The Stoics believed that speech is not just a tool for communication, but a reflection of our character and inner state. Thoughtless words can create unnecessary conflict, spread misinformation, and even harm relationships, while mindful speech fosters clarity, understanding, and connection. Being mindful of your speech starts with understanding the weight of your words. Before speaking, ask yourself, is what I'm about to say true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? This simple framework, often attributed to the Stoics, helps filter out unnecessary or harmful talk. For instance, instead of reacting impulsively in a heated conversation, taking a moment to pause and reflect can lead to a more constructive exchange. Another key aspect of mindful speech is brevity. The Stoics valued conciseness, believing that unnecessary words dilute the message and waste time. Think of it this way: if you can say something in 5 words, don't use 10. This doesn't mean being abrupt or dismissive, but rather focusing on clarity and precision. Consider Marcus Aurelius, who often reminded himself to speak plainly and directly, avoiding embellishment or exaggeration. To practice mindful speech in your daily life, start by becoming more aware of your conversational habits. Notice when you're tempted to gossip, complain, or dominate a conversation. Instead, aim to listen more and speak less, ensuring that your words add value to the discussion. When you do speak, choose your words carefully, aiming to express your thoughts with honesty and respect. Additionally, practice the Stoic exercise of minding the gap between thought and speech. When you feel the urge to say something, pause briefly to consider whether it aligns with your values and serves a positive purpose. This small but powerful habit can transform the way you communicate, helping you build stronger relationships and avoid unnecessary misunderstandings. As we move forward to the next rule, which focuses on simplifying decision-making, take a moment to reflect on how mindful speech might impact your interactions. By choosing your words with care, you not only improve your communication but also cultivate a sense of inner peace and integrity. Mindful speech is not just about what you say, it's about how you choose to show up in the world, one word at a time. Now turning to the next rule, let's explore how Stoicism simplifies decision-making by focusing on values rather than external pressures. The Stoics believed that clarity of purpose comes from aligning your choices with your core principles, rather than being swayed by the opinions of others or the allure of instant gratification. At the heart of this practice is the idea of knowing what truly matters to you. Take a moment to reflect on your values. What virtues do you want to embody? Courage, honesty, kindness. When you make decisions rooted in these values, the process becomes less about weighing endless options and more about staying true to yourself. For example, if honesty is a core value, you'll find it easier to decide whether to speak up in a difficult situation or remain silent to avoid conflict. Stoicism also teaches us to distinguish between what's within our control and what's not. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, can I influence the outcome, or is it beyond my power? By focusing only on what you can control, you eliminate unnecessary stress and simplify the decision-making process. Imagine you're deciding whether to take on a new project at work. Instead of worrying about how others might perceive your choice, consider whether it aligns with your goals and values. If it does, move forward confidently. Another practical framework from Stoicism is the view from above exercise. Picture your decision from a broader perspective. How will it impact your life in the long run? Does it contribute to your growth and well-being, or is it driven by short-term desires? This shift in perspective can help you see past immediate distractions and make choices that serve your higher purpose. To apply this rule in daily life, start by creating a personal decision-making checklist. List your core values and use them as a guide when faced with tough choices. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and remind yourself of what truly matters. Over time, this practice will help you make decisions more confidently and with greater clarity. As we prepare to move forward, consider how simplifying your decision-making process can reduce stress and bring more focus to your life. By aligning your choices with your values, you not only live more authentically, but also create a sense of inner harmony that the Stoics deeply cherished. As we shift our focus, let's explore the profound Stoic practice of embracing silence and solitude. In a world filled with constant noise and distractions, the Stoics recognized the importance of creating space for quiet reflection. Silence, they believed, is not just the absence of sound but a powerful tool for simplifying life and gaining clarity. The Stoics understood that silence allows the mind to rest and reset. In moments of solitude, free from external chatter, we can better hear our own thoughts and reconnect with our inner selves. This practice helps us step back from the chaos of daily life and examine our priorities with a clear mind. For instance, taking a few minutes each day to sit in silence can help you process emotions, evaluate your actions, and realign with your values. Silence also fosters a deeper sense of presence. When we stop filling every moment with activity or noise, we become more attuned to the present moment. This mindfulness can reduce stress and help us appreciate the simple joys of life, like the sound of birdsong or the feeling of a cool breeze. Moreover, the Stoics saw silence as a way to cultivate self-control. By choosing to step away from conversations that drain our energy or lead to unnecessary conflict, we protect our peace and focus on what truly matters. For example, instead of engaging in gossip or heated debates, you might choose to remain silent, preserving your mental clarity and emotional balance. To incorporate this rule into your daily life, consider setting aside a few minutes each day for solitude. Whether it's during a morning walk, a quiet meditation, or simply sitting in stillness, these moments of silence can become a sanctuary for reflection and renewal. Over time, you'll find that embracing silence not only simplifies your life, but also deepens your understanding of yourself and the world around you. As we move forward, reflect on how silence can become a refuge in your busy life. By embracing this Stoic practice, you create space for clarity, peace, and a deeper connection to what truly matters. Now turning to a broader perspective, let's explore the Stoic practice of focusing on the big picture. In our daily lives, it's easy to get caught up in minor details and immediate concerns. The Stoics, however, remind us to step back and view our existence from a wider lens. This shift in perspective can bring clarity, reduce stress, and help us focus on what truly matters in the grand scheme of things. One powerful Stoic exercise is to imagine the world from a cosmic view. Picture yourself standing high above the earth, looking down at its vastness. From this vantage point, the problems that once seemed overwhelming may appear small and manageable. This exercise helps us recognize the fleeting nature of our struggles and the relative insignificance of many of our worries. Another way to focus on the big picture is to consider the passage of time. The Stoics often reflected on the impermanence of life, reminding themselves that everything is temporary, both the good and the bad. This practice can help us let go of trivial concerns and focus on what has lasting value, such as our relationships, personal growth, and contributions to the world. By regularly zooming out and reflecting on the broader context of our lives, we can gain a deeper sense of purpose and direction. This practice also fosters gratitude as we become more aware of the interconnectedness of all things and the larger forces at play in our existence. To incorporate this rule into your life, try setting aside a few moments each week for big picture thinking. You might journal about your long-term goals, meditate on the interconnectedness of life, or simply take a walk in nature to remind yourself of the world's vastness. Over time, this practice will help you navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom and composure, keeping your focus on what truly matters. As we continue, consider how adopting a broader perspective can transform the way you approach your daily life. By embracing this Stoic practice, you'll find greater clarity, peace, and alignment with your deepest values. As we shift our focus to the next principle, let's explore how Stoicism encourages us to let go of perfectionism. In a world that often demands flawlessness, the Stoics remind us that imperfection is not only natural but also a necessary part of growth. By accepting our limitations and mistakes, we can release the pressure to be perfect and embrace a more fulfilling and creative life. Stoicism teaches that striving for perfection can lead to unnecessary stress and frustration. When we fixate on getting everything just right, we often become paralyzed by fear of failure or judgment. Instead, the Stoics advocate for focusing on effort rather than outcomes. This mindset shift allows us to take action, learn from our experiences, and improve over time without being weighed down by unrealistic expectations. One way to practice this rule is to reframe mistakes as opportunities for growth. Instead of viewing errors as failures, see them as valuable lessons that move you closer to your goals. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By adopting this attitude, you can approach challenges with resilience and curiosity rather than fear or self-criticism. Another key aspect of letting go of perfectionism is recognizing that it's okay to be a work in progress. The Stoics believe that life is a continuous journey of self-improvement, and perfection is neither attainable nor necessary. By embracing this truth, you can free yourself from the constant need to prove your worth and instead focus on becoming the best version of yourself, imperfections and all. To integrate this rule into your daily life, start by setting realistic expectations for yourself. Acknowledge that you're human and that mistakes are part of the process. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and remind yourself that growth often comes from trial and error. Over time, you'll find that letting go of perfectionism not only reduces stress, but also opens the door to greater creativity, authenticity, and personal fulfillment. As we move forward, consider how releasing the grip of perfectionism can transform the way you approach challenges and opportunities. By embracing imperfection, you'll discover a more balanced and joyful way of living, aligned with the wisdom of Stoicism. Now turning to the final and perhaps most profound Stoic principle, we explore the idea of living in harmony with nature. This concept, central to Stoic philosophy, goes beyond the physical environment and delves into the essence of our true selves. Living according to nature means recognizing and accepting the natural order of life, embracing its rhythms, and aligning our actions with our deepest values. The Stoics believed that everything in the universe is interconnected and governed by a rational, natural order. By understanding and aligning ourselves with this order, we can live more authentically and peacefully. This involves accepting the inevitability of change, the cycles of growth and decay, and the impermanence of all things. When we resist these natural processes, we create unnecessary suffering for ourselves. Living in harmony with nature also means aligning with our own nature, our unique talents, passions, and purpose. The Stoics taught that each of us has a role to play in the grand scheme of life, and fulfilling that role brings a sense of fulfillment and contentment. This requires self-awareness, introspection, and the courage to live in accordance with our true selves, even when it goes against societal expectations. One practical way to embody this principle is to simplify your life by focusing on what truly matters. Strip away distractions, external pressures, and unnecessary desires, and instead prioritize activities and relationships that resonate with your core values. This might mean spending more time in nature, practicing mindfulness, or cultivating meaningful connections with others. Another key aspect is accepting life's challenges as part of the natural order. Just as storms are a natural part of the weather, difficulties are a natural part of human existence. By embracing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than resisting them, we can develop resilience and wisdom. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Everything harmonizes with me which is harmonious to you, O universe. Nothing for me is too early or too late, which is in due time for you." This profound reminder encourages us to trust the timing of our lives and find peace in the unfolding of our unique journey. Living according to nature is not about perfection but about alignment. It's about returning to the simplicity of being, letting go of what no longer serves us, and embracing the beauty of life's natural flow. By integrating this principle into your daily life, you'll find a deeper sense of peace, purpose, and connection to the world around you. As we conclude our exploration of the 30 Stoic rules for living a simple life, reflect on how each principle contributes to a more meaningful and balanced existence. By embracing these timeless teachings, you can navigate life's complexities with grace, clarity, and an unwavering sense of purpose. As we bring this exploration to a close, let's take a moment to reflect on the profound simplicity these 30 Stoic rules offer. From focusing on what you can control to embracing impermanence, from practicing gratitude to living in harmony with nature, each principle serves as a guide to stripping away life's complexities and finding clarity in the essentials. Together, they form a roadmap to a life of peace, purpose, and authenticity. The beauty of these rules lies in their timelessness and practicality. They remind us that simplicity isn't about having less but about valuing more presence, more meaning, and more connection to what truly matters. By integrating these teachings into your daily life, you can navigate challenges with resilience, cultivate inner peace, and live in alignment with your deepest values. So, what's next for you? Start small. Choose one or two rules that resonate with you and begin applying them today. Whether it's practicing gratitude, letting go of what you can't control, or simplifying your goals, each step you take brings you closer to a simpler, more fulfilling life. And don't forget to share your journey with us in the comments below. Your experiences and insights can inspire others who are also on this path. If you found value in this video, give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more content on living intentionally and embracing the wisdom of Stoicism. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Together, let's continue exploring how ancient wisdom can transform our modern lives. Thank you for watching, and here's to living simply and living well.